First of all, what does 1957 have an importance of? Anybody know? Don't anyone say that was the year I was born, because you're in big trouble. Do what? The internet was started? No. Actually, that's when we got our first iPad. You all look at me like I'm crazy. We all had an Etch-a-Sketch. That's when we started with our iPads. So let's talk a little bit about the value, though, of social media. I want to tell you a little bit about a diversified survey that I did a few years ago, and it was between two different doctors. One had all of their social media set up, and one did not. So I had the very diversified group of people go through and take this survey, who they thought was the better doctor and who was not. Well, as they went through, it was the doctor who had all their social media set up. And when I asked why, it was because they felt like if they were having everything set up and they were on the cutting edge there, that they were also keeping up with everything going on in the medical field. Now, we know that's not accurate, right? But perception is reality, so that's what's important. And you hear all the time social media is free. It's free. Do you agree it's free? No, it's not free. There's an investment of time, energy, and a lot of love that goes into that. The other thing I want you to think about when you're thinking about free, when that investment comes in, what is the lifetime value of your client, your customer, your patient? Think about that. When you have a brand new customer and they come to you, do they spend a certain amount one time? Do they spend a certain amount several times? Do they stay with you over years? So what's the lifetime value of that client? That'll let you know if you need to invest in social media or not. Okay. We talk about the ROI. Well, we all know ROI is a return on investment, and I've got ROS, it's a return on your story. But we're going to talk about ROI is a return on influence, because that's exactly what you're doing with social media. You're influencing people, but you have to have a strategy to know why you're influencing them. What do you want them to do? Are you wanting to just get your name out there and start branding yourself so people start to recognize it so it becomes a household brand? Are you trying to do lead generation? Are you trying to bring customers, patients, clients to you? Are you trying to get them back to the website where you house everything? So you've got to know those kind of things before you ever begin with social media. You have to know those kind of things before you begin with any kind of marketing. And just so you know, social media is not the only marketing anyone needs to do. It's part of the puzzle piece. Email marketing is part of that marketing. There's a lot of pieces that go to that puzzle to make it complete. But this one is the most visible today and get a lot of mileage out of it very quickly. Now, how many feel that way about social media? I see some heads nodding, yes. Well, you laugh, but that was one of my clients before we worked together. When you see photos like this in social media, they're nice on a personal page on Facebook. They're nice when you're looking at things in timelines, but that is not an image you want to perceive or be perceived by on Facebook for business. When you're looking at Facebook for business, this is the type of thing you want to see. Head and shoulders, you want to be able to see the eyes, because the eyes, when they can connect with you, is the first place they start to know, like, and trust you. Now, were the other pictures adorable? Yes, absolutely. But that doesn't say I'm a professional, I'm serious about what I do, and I'm serious about helping you with what you need. The other says we just have fun. Okay? Now, this is an interesting statistic. 92% of people trust their friends and family with recommendations. I think we would agree with that. Most of our family members, we'd go, okay, if they say it, I believe it. Then 70% trust online consumer reviews because it took an actual person who's experienced this to make that review. But only 14% trust advertisements such as radio and TV. Why do you think that is? It's because people are paid to endorse that. So we're not sure if they got paid to endorse that or if they really endorse it. So that's why the trust factor is so low. But that's why your social media is so valuable, because it's friends and family, people they trust, giving these recommendations. When they say they like Karen's page, or if they say they like Cynthia's or Karen's photography, that's a recommendation, that's an endorsement. And when they see that, they automatically trust it because it's someone they know, like, and trust. Percentage using social media. Now this is age groups. And you'll notice, obviously, the 18 to 29 is the one that's a little higher peak. But that's determined by what social platform you're on. If you're on Facebook, and we'll talk about it in a few minutes, the growing number is a different age group than if you're on Twitter. So you have to know your target market, the ideal client, where are they spending their time on the social networks? Because if you're hanging out on Twitter and all of your clients are hanging out on Facebook, you have just wasted that time. Total waste of your investment.